Hello. So today we are starting day 17 of math, and we are going to be starting a new topic or unit. So we're starting topic 14. So today what we're going to be working on is I can show and tell time to the minute using clocks. So we're going to be doing a little bit of review of time, which is going to help us with what we're going to be working on the next couple of days. So if you have not yet completed the solve and share, go ahead and pause this video and complete it now because I'm going to start with going over it. So I want you to be able to check your work. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Xander and his mother are visiting a store. In the store, there are many clocks on the shelves. The clocks show different times. Tell the times shown on each of the clocks below. Use structure. Recall that the space between each small tick mark on a clock represents a unit of 1 minute. So let's zoom in a little bit more on these. We can do a little bit more. Perfect, and take a look. So we're looking right here at our first clock. So I can see right here that my hour hand is pointed to 1, and my minute hand is pointed to 12. So with my hour hand pointed at 1, it's going to tell me that it is at 1 o'clock right now. Well, that it's at 1, I guess. But because the 12 is pointed right up, that tells me that it's right at the start of the hour. So it is in fact going to be at 1 o'clock. Let's look at clock 2 now. I can see that my hour hand is between 5 and 6. Because it has not yet reached 6, I know my hour is at 5. My minute hand is pointed to the 6, so I can count by 5s and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I'm at 30. So clock 2 is at 5:30. My clock 3 is again between 5 and 6, but it's getting pretty close to 6, which tells me pretty soon it will be 6 o'clock, but it's still 5 for the hour. Now I need to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So the time is 5:55. This 12, I can also be representative. There are 60 minutes in an hour. So I could have decided that I wanted to count back from 60 and count back 5, which would bring me 55. So it's another way to solve that. So before we go in these guided practice, let's really break down and look at the clock. So I have my clock right here, and next to each number, I've broken down how many minutes it should be. So at 1, it's been 5 minutes, 2, 10, 3, 15, 4, 20, 5, 25, 6, 30, 7, 35, 8, 40, 9, 45, 10, 50, 11, 55, and 12, like I said, if we're starting on there and we're working this way, it's 0, but it is representative. There's 60 minutes in an hour. So if I'm counting back, it's important to know that it's representative of 60. So my small hand is my hour hand. That tells me how many hours I am at. So for example, if I draw my small hand right here, I'm saying that I'm within the 1 hour. Now my large hand is my minute hand. So if I decide to take it and point it right to here, my time that I'm showing is 1, 5, 10, 15, 1:15. So let's go ahead and look into these guided practice questions. So let's go ahead and look at number 1. It says, in the Memphis train example, Y is 42 minutes after 12 o'clock, the same as 18 minutes before 1 o'clock. So I know I'm going to be working between 12 and 1 o'clock. So why are these the same? Let's go ahead and look at my clock. So I can go ahead and draw and take My hour hand, I know I'm going to be between 12 and 1. I'm doing it a little closer to 1 because it's almost going to be 1 o'clock. And my minute hand is at 41:42. It's going right to here. So this is showing me 12:42, which, like the problem says, is 42 minutes after 12. If I start at 12 and I count the minute hand, I'm going to get to 42 right here. But I'm getting close to 1 o'clock. As soon as this hand, this minute hand, gets back up to 12, I will be at 1 o'clock. So I can count from 42 and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So my distance in minutes from here to here is 18, which is why I can say it's 18 minutes before 1 o'clock. I can also take 42 and add 18 to it. 8 plus 2 gives me 10. 4, 5, 6, 60, which tells me my 60 minutes in an hour. So all this problem is telling me is how many minutes after 12 and how many minutes before it's 1. So it's just going around the clock and showing me that. Number 2 says an airplane landed at 3:55. Does the clock show the time the airplane landed? So I decided to draw this on my dot cam so we can look at it a little bit larger. So I can see that my hour hand, the small hand, is pointed at 3, and our minute hand is pointed at 11, which stands for 55 minutes. So it seems correct. However, in 5 minutes, it will be 4 o'clock, which means this hour hand has a long way to go. In reality, this hour hand would be pointed almost to 4 o'clock because it's soon to be 4 o'clock. So it is not correct because the hour hand moves, even though it's much more slower than the minute hand, it's constantly moving. So by the time it is almost 4 o'clock, which 3:55 is 5 minutes before 4, 5 minutes before 4 o'clock, then this hand would be almost to 4. So now it is correct. Look at number 3. It says in 3 and 4, write the times shown on each clock in 2 ways. So I'm looking right here, and I've drawn it on here. So I can see my hour hand is pointed to 3, and my minute hand is pointed to 5, 10, 11, 12. So I can say that the time is 3:12. Another way that I can write this is by saying how far it is past the hour. So it is 12 minutes after 3 o'clock. 12 minutes after 3. At number 4. Number 4 says it is 5:43. So I went over to my clock, and just a little hint on how to remind you that the small hand shows the hour and the large hand shows minutes. Think about the large hand, the minute hand, needs to be more specific. So all we need to tell from the hour hand is it's between 5 and 6. So it's going to be 5 for our hour because it's not yet at 6. But our minute hand needs to specifically tell us that it is at 40, 1, 2, 3. So that hand needs to be a little bit smaller to point to a more specific number. So that's just a little trick to help you. So 5:43, I can say it is 43 minutes after 5 o'clock. Now, if I want to keep going around the clock to say how much until it's 6 o'clock, I can say, so we're at 43 now, 44, 45, so let's see, 43, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I can say it's 17 minutes before 6 o'clock. Now, if I want to check this and make sure it's correct, I want to make sure that these two numbers add up to give me 60, because that will tell me that I've done my correct math. So I can go off to the side here and say 43 plus 17. I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, and it gives me 60, so my math has checked out. Now it's your turn to try the independent practice questions on your own. Good luck!